Happy Fragrant Friday, fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new, you know it, review. Happy Fragrant Friday to you. I hope you are doing well. And if it's not Friday when you're watching this, always remember here at TCG, it is always Friday, my friends. Happy Fragrant Friday. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking out the video. So in this week's episode, I am checking out none other than Duke Cannon Supply Company with their line of proper cologne. And this is called Seneca. You've seen the title and you've seen the description, so you know this is something different. This is something different, especially after I reviewed 7 weeks of Mancera's. I am all over the map, my friends. I will review anything from the cheapest of the cheapies to the most opulent fragrances on planet Earth, something that I greatly enjoy. I really enjoyed trying on and wearing and experiencing and reviewing new fragrances. So before I do that, let me just quickly say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell, especially if you watch me on your phone. If nothing else, don't forget to leave a comment. If you don't have much to say about this particular fragrance, leave a comment with your scent of the day. I always enjoy seeing what you guys are wearing, and I really appreciate when you do. And as I said, I go to Fragrantica, and I sit back and just check out all the fragrances that you are wearing. In fact, I've purchased 2 based on that alone, and really enjoyed both of them. So it's something that I really appreciate. Never be bashful about your comments, or we have subscribers that range from people that have 400 to 500 bottles and have their own YouTube channel that they review fragrances on, to people who have one bottle a year. And as I've said before, for many years that was my go-to, was my 1 token bottle of fragrance a year, and then as soon as it ran out I would go get another one. So I never had more than 1 at any given time, and so I fully understand that. So let me talk about the 4 things on this particular fragrance that make it different from others in a second. But first, I want to welcome all the new subscribers since last Friday. We have had just yet again an absolute avalanche of new subscribers, and I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me, so welcome aboard. If you don't know, I have a 5-spray review system, and that I unlike other reviewers perhaps, I love the top 10s, I love all those, but I do really love the 1 fragrance review episode. I actually enjoyed that thoroughly. I know it's kind of passé perhaps, but I certainly enjoy reviewing and talking and dissecting and analyzing and researching 1 particular fragrance each week. And then the second thing is, I want to send a shout out to my Aunt Mary Joan, who gave me this as a gift, so it's something that I cherish even more. And it will not, I'm not biased though, it will not factor into my rating system, but I will say thank you very much to my Aunt Mary Joan, who is as kind, thoughtful, and giving as they come, and so it should be no surprise to you that she gave me this as a gift. So I'm going to be checking these out for the next 3 weeks. So this is Duke Cannon Proper Cologne line, and let me talk about the nomenclature now. There are a couple things that are different about this company that I think you will want to know about. So first of all, when you open up the box, the first thing you see is this huge sign that says, "This is not cheap drugstore cologne." So, okay, they're stating that it's not cheap drugstore cologne. Then they go on to say, to be discovered, not announced. Wink, wink. Okay, so what do you think of when you think of inexpensive? I'm not going to say cheap. When you think of inexpensive and you think of fragrance that announces about 75 feet before the person enters the room, usually middle to high schoolers, they're 12 to 17 years old. Okay, Burlington, Iowa got it this week. Axe, that's correct. And I would accept Lynx, by the way, too, of course, which is what Axe is called in the UK. So Axe/Lynx is a very, very successful company. People laugh, People laugh at them because, you know, it's lowbrow, it's synthetic, and they're known for, it's really not their fault actually why they're known, because they do make pretty good sense. Fragrances, I should say. The issue, though, is that people tend to over-apply. So it's kind of like the rite of passage, the proverbial first fragrance of the 12-year-old with the braces that giggles too much, but never actually talks, and then just puts on just a crazy, wild amount of fragrance, and he announces his entrance about 75 feet before he gets into the room. So that is really no fault of their own, though. But I think here, when they're talking about to be discovered, not announced, and then they're talking, it's proper cologne, that is not a body spray, it's proper cologne, and then they're also saying this is not cheap drugstore cologne. I think what this company to me is trying to do is become a direct competitor to Axe. So that's my estimation. That's the way I feel. And the reason why I think they're trying to do that is because obviously the marketing is geared towards, we are not Axe, but it's going to be in the same similar vein. I think this was a gift, but I think it was Target, if I'm not mistaken. And no, I'm not going to say Target. I'm not going to do it. So it was purchased, I think, at Target or somewhere else. Anyway, I noticed online it was on Target. It was on the Target website for easily less than $20 for a bottle of cologne. This is actually the travel set. So these are they're travel sets. I'm not going to say a sample. So these come in 10 milliliter size atomizers. Okay, so most of the samples that I review are 2 milliliters, and that gets me about 4, 5, 6 days. And so when you think that this has 5 times that, then that is quite good. I've really enjoyed wearing it this week, and boy did I blast away, for good and for bad, and I will talk about that in a little bit. But it does come with an atomizer, and it's 10 milliliters, and it is an EDP. This is an eau de parfum, so this is a higher concentration. So the other reason why I think what they're trying to do with the notion of being a competitor with Axe is known as a synthetic mess, okay? And so a lot of YouTube reviewers refuse to even, I would never review such rubbish. I personally have reviewed Dark Temptation. I love Dark Temptation. In 30 years, I will still love Dark Temptation. Whenever I forget my Aqua di Gio travel bottle, which almost never happens, but every once in a while, if I have to leave quickly and I don't bring it when I'm traveling, I have and will continue probably to buy Dark Temptation body spray unabashedly. I have no shame in my game. I really love that fragrance. It's a great fragrance. It is a highly synthetic. Yes, it is. But I think what these guys are trying to do is to create a healthier alternative. And let me define healthy. Notice here they say simple, plant-derived, and cruelty-free formulas. Never tested on animals, just bad interns. So you can see that right there. And so you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Axe and Lynx are cruelty-free. I don't think they are. And so I think what they're trying to do is to create a plant-derived product here to be a direct competitor to the Axe. So for the people out there that really likes things to be plant derived, and also an extra bonus, of course, I guess, or would be the fact that these are cruelty free. Now they're not Leaping Bunny approved. This company there's no Leaping Bunny here, and so what that tells me is at least one of their products out there has either they did testing on it, but I don't think they do, because they say here they don't on this product, or it has an animal byproduct somewhere in it. It's very difficult to be certified Leaping Bunny. Very difficult. That said, though, that is a great alternative for people who don't want Axe, but they like the entry level. They have a 12 to 17-year-old in their house and looking for like an entry level cheap fragrance just to kind of dip their toes in the fragrance world. Then this would be great, because again, it's cruelty free. So let's take a look at what that means in the fragrance world. It's something that it's been difficult for me, because when I first started the channel, I was actually even considering only going to have cruelty free reviews on cruelty-free products. there are two issues going on. Around the turn of the century, the Europeans changed their rules, and so it was they're essentially phasing out animal research, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm very happy about those changes, even if it means they had to discontinue a lot of fragrances. I don't mind that. I think it's a good thing. Now, the one exception, though, is China, because in China, they did the opposite. They actually require animal testing. So if you notice, a lot of companies can't say that they're cruelty-free, certainly not a Leaping Bunny icon, but they can't proclaim that because they sell in China. So even though they don't do animal testing, their product probably, it's my understanding that it has to be tested once it enters the Chinese market. And so that's unfortunate. So a lot of companies, even though they're because like Dior, I mean, if these companies are in Europe anyway, they're not doing testing anymore. If they ever did. That said, though, they can't really promote that. They can't say that because their products are being tested at least in one country, which would be China. Now, these guys, if they're saying this, they probably don't sell their products in China. And so, again, that is a wonderful thing for people out there who are looking for an Axe-like fragrance, but want something more natural. So this is plant-derived, and then it's also not tested on animals, therefore is cruelty-free. And then the other thing I was going to say would be, notice it says a portion of proceeds benefits U.S. veterans. I do not do politics on this channel, but one thing I would hope that we could all come together on a few issues, and one of which being that a portion of the proceeds benefiting U.S. veterans is always a good thing. So really I see three target audiences here, right? Number one, people who are looking for cruelty-free products, fragrance. Number two, you would like the notion that every time you're purchasing this product, a product from this company, that a portion of the proceeds goes to benefit U.S. veterans. And then number three would be the entry level, like the 12 to 17-year-olds who are getting their first bottle of Cologne. They still got the braces, giggling, video games, Minecraft, etc., etc. That crowd is going to like this as a perfect gift because they're relatively inexpensive, and so especially on a travel pack, they can try 2 or 3, very, very cheaply, and still find maybe one that they really, really like. So it's kind of a no lose. And see, notice again, to be discovered, not announced. And so they're really hoping that people will buy this product over Axe for their kids, so that way they don't clear out a room. These are very subtle scents, and so they work differently. They're not the traditional clear out a room type fragrance for the younger crowd. They are certainly subtle at that. So those are the three angles you should consider for this product, and I've certainly appreciated that element to it. And then so let's get it more into the review itself. Now, in terms of the notes, this has bergamot, neroli, and cashmere woods, and this is not listed on Fragrantica, right? So you might say to yourself, man, your nose is just incredible. And I would say, no, but my eyes are. They actually list it on the back. So you see, it's proper cologne, and that's been trademarked. And you have to say it with a British accent. So it is bergamot, neroli, and cashmere woods. You get a blast of bergamot initially, and then the neroli comes into play. I'm a huge neroli fan, as you know if you watch the channel. And then the cashmere woods are in the base notes, so there's going to come up about the 2-hour mark and really, really give this a fine touch. In fact, this is what they say. Seneca. Profile, aquatic. Seneca smells like venturing outdoors after a fresh rainfall, not the hot tub at the O'Hare Best Western. Fun fact. Okay, fun fact. And get ready. Let's cue the boos. All right, the boo birds are going to be coming out because let me tell you something. I take exception to that comment because I have stayed personally at the Best Western O'Hare, and it was actually quite nice. How dare they? Yeah, no, I know. No, you're upset. You're upset, and that's fine. The good news, I'm not going to dock a spray just because they said that, but it came close. It was a very, very close decision. Now, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, Mr. O'Hare, Best Western, what were you doing getting a room with a hot tub? I did not get a room with a hot tub. Okay, so I did not stay at the room that has the hot tub in it. All right, I didn't pay up for that because that costs extra. Now that way, I will say though that it was a wonderful hotel, and I do take exception to Duke Cannon. So if Duke, if you are listening, make sure you change that reference. O'Hare. It's a very nice place. Come on, it's O'Hare Best Western. And so, you know, right off the bat, I take exception to that. I'll just slightly. So those are the notes. Now here's the issue. The first 10 to 15 minutes, I will hold my hand on heart. I will fully concede and hold my hand up and declare that there is a very strong urinal cake element to this in the first 10 or 15 minutes. When I first sprayed it especially, I thought, ooh, this one's not going to work for me. In the first 10 or 15 minutes, it smells like... So if you don't know, so if for the ladies out there, in men's urinals, you've probably seen them on films at least, but in men's urinals, they have these white hockey pucks down in there, and they have a very strong chemical, distinct smell, and those are called urinal cakes. They're like white hockey pucks of chemicals thrown into urinals. So on top of that, you have the strong smell, which was off-putting, but that is the first 10 or 15 minutes. After that, that really goes away, and the neroli starts to blend in quite well with the bergamot, and then of course the cashmere woods comes for a come from behind victory. This one smells very, very nice, and it's kind of a light blue by Dolce & Gabbana clone. I don't know if I want to call it an actual clone, not cologne. Clone, dupe, copy, but I will say it is in that same vein. So it's the citric aquatic mixed with some nice woods in the base. So that's going to conjure up things like light blue by Dolce & Gabbana. And it's very nice. I got unsolicited compliments. It holds its own. It's a very nice fragrance, and I really appreciated the fact that it got better after that initial 10 to 15 minute period that was a little funky, to say the least, much like ice in a urinal. Okay, so that is that. Now, when it comes to longevity, projection and sillage, we do get some bad news on longevity. See, here's the issue. I would love to have cruelty-free, plant-derived fragrances entirely in my collection. I really would. Okay, the earth-friendly and also, you know, clear conscious products are very appealing to me. The problem is a lot of them don't last very long, and this is another one. This is an EDP, so this is an eau de parfum anyway, right? So you should, especially after I just reviewed 7 weeks of Mancera products, you know, I've been getting well over 10 hours. So you're going to get 4 to 6 on this one, and that really is closer to 4 if you're coming in and out of the outdoors. Unfortunately, when you think of an aquatic, you're going to think that, you know, it would be more of a summer fragrance, which it is, and so that means you're going to be outside. So unfortunately, if you're wearing this to the barbecue, you're going to be looking at about 3 to 4 hours. Longevity was not what I would have liked, especially considering that when I saw it was a 10 milliliter, I blasted away with it. So I would have liked a little bit more when it comes to that. When it comes to projection, quite well for the first 2 hours, 2 to 2.5. So this would be perfect for the middle school, the 8th grade formal. You know what I mean? Where it's like people will project about an arm's length away for the first 2 to 2.5 hours, and then it's really going to settle down. Now, if you're buying this product though for your middle schooler, as a first fragrance, or high schooler, you will like that though, and that's what I said earlier. It can be good or bad. You know, I would have liked more projection, but if your son has worn axe a long time, then this will be refreshing for you and all of those around him, because this one is very, very, very difficult to over apply. You do not need to go easy on the trigger with this. So, to each his own, right? I would have liked more longevity, projection and longevity, but if you're looking for something subtle that won't blast out a room, this would be nice for high school dances, that kind of thing, where you don't want to over apply. Easy to do with the axe crowd. So and then the sillage would be coming in and out of rooms. You might get picked up and you might get compliments, but once you go outdoors and then come back, I would not expect anybody to pick up your scent bubble or your scent trail. So just make sure you really, really apply, and definitely apply on your clothes if you do want to get noticed with this fragrance. So a little bit of a downer, but I mean, for what's being charged, it's inexpensive, and it's also plant based, and so it goes with the territory. Now, here's what I would say when it comes to the prices and the notion of traveling, etc. So when I travel, I have my handy Acqua di Gio travel size, and then I refill it constantly. I told you before, in the off chance I forget that, then I wear the Dark Temptation by Axe, which I proudly stand behind that statement. And then what I would also say is, if you're looking for something aquatic that's similar to Seneca, and you also don't want to break the bank, though, another cheapie, one of the best cheapies out there is Nautica Voyage. So this is Voyage by Nautica. So for less than $20 for 3.4 ounce, that is incredible, 100 milliliter, you can get Nautica Voyage, which is just a wonderful, wonderful aquatic scent. Could be my favorite one for less than $20. They could easily charge $100 for that fragrance. I've said that before. So if one thing to consider would be if you wanted to venture into something like this, but you also don't want to go up to something expensive like the Acqua di Gio or the Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, you could always definitely look for like a TJ Maxx. You can find them online for really cheap. The Nautica Voyage. So let's go to seasons though, and gender, etc. So this is going to be, the Seneca line is definitely going to be summer. This definitely has a strong, perhaps spring too, but I see this more as you're on vacation and you've just been in the pool all day, and now you're going to get ready and go out for the night. So I would put on something like this after a day of being in the pool. It's very fresh. It's certainly very clean. It's very attractive, and you will receive compliments on it. Again, just make sure that you work on the projection issue accordingly, meaning if you want to get compliments and noticed, apply a lot, and if you don't mind and you want to keep it subtle and close to the skin, put on your normal amount of sprays. So for the seasons, it's pretty easy. Now for gender, I think this is another easy one. I do see this as more along the lines of the citrus aquatics, so I think you're going to see about 80-20. I think you're going to see about 80% masculine guys wearing this one, and then about 20% the ladies. This is, to me, it's a very the marketing is for men, and I think it plays out in the sense that this is a masculine smelling, clean smelling fragrance. So I think a lot of ladies will be buying this one for their man, actually. So let's go 80-20 on gender. When it comes to event, I think it's more the season, quite frankly. I think once you get into hotter weather and you want to wear something that is very aquatic and citrus based, but yet also has an element of woods to it, especially in the base notes, that will dictate more than the event, because really this could be anywhere at all once you're in the summer. Again, I guess if it were an outdoor event, just make sure you put on definitely on your clothes and put on more sprays. So I think the event is highly versatile because it could be anywhere, provided that it's the right season and that you like aquatics. So a lot of people do not like, right off the bat, a lot of people do not like aquatics. What's interesting about aquatics and the real sweet ones is they're very love-hate, aren't they? So some people worship these kind of fragrances, and there are also people that absolutely abhor and detest these fragrances. I like them. So I really like aquatic fragrances. I have many in my collection. My favorite one of all time, for crying out loud, is Aqua di Gio, and it's your favorite too. You've said it. You've even said it in text to me and told me not to tell anybody. So there you have it. Am I the target audience for this one? Perhaps. When it comes to age, I'm not. This one would be a great first fragrance for the 12 to 17 crowd. It won't break the bank, and it also won't clear out the room, and it smells nice. It smells wonderful, and I really like their marketing to that. This would also be more for me when it comes to the cruelty-free notion, the plant-derived, no testing on animals. I really like that. And then the third option, as I said, is a portion of the proceeds goes to U.S. veterans. Always a good thing. So I've really enjoyed wearing Seneca. I'm going to be putting on, when I do my rating, I'm going to be putting on that number of sprays, and I still have a little bit to go because I can hear them in there just swimming around. So the good news will keep on going, and then next week I'll review one of the two remaining, but I'm going to go with a rock solid 3 out of 5 from me on Seneca. This is a 3 out of 5 for me. I came dangerously close. I came dangerously close to docking a spray simply because they made fun of the Best Western at the O'Hare Airport. It bothers me, okay? But I did not take off a spray. I'm going to take off one spray for the actual atomizer itself was a little cheap, and the sprays kind of came out every which way but loose originally. So the bottle itself is a tad cheap. And then the second one would be the longevity, projection, and sillage, especially because this is an EDP. They really need to do a better job of working on longevity. It's a big issue for the plant-derived fragrances. In fact, if you know of any cruelty-free and or plant-derived fragrances that have phenomenal longevity, let me know, because I would love to review that, and I would love to give them the good love that they deserve. Still, 3 out of 5 is quite nice. This is a wonderful alternative to Axe. This is something great for for a trip. So if you don't have your Aqua di Gio travel on you, or if you don't have Dark Temptation, then this would be a wonderful alternative. Absolutely. So thoroughly enjoyed it this week. We're going to go with 3 out of 5, 1 on each wrist and 1 on the center of because as you've noticed, the vacay beard has lasted yet another week. We're just going to keep on chugging here. It's been great not having to shave. So we're going to go right on the center of the neck just to celebrate the hashtag vacay beard. Boom. 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 3 out of 5 for Seneca. Duke Cannon Supply Company, Propa Cologne. Really enjoyed this one. Next week I will continue because I've got 2 more to go in this line. And last but not least, thanks once again to my aunt. Yeah, give her an applause to my Aunt Mary Joan. I'm thoroughly enjoying these fragrances. Thank you very much. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Probably more information that you wanted to know on that, but anyway, plus every once in a while they have ice. So I'm not sure what ice is doing in a urinal. I don't want to know. All right, but the urinal cakes is bad enough, let alone the ice.